Hello ladies and gentlemen, FrozenStag here, and welcome to a Westeros Total War New Beginning Hot Seat. Now, I'm going to start away saying there's going to be quite a few fan disturbance in the background, probably. I'd imagine so. And also, I'm not feeling very well today. Well, I'm not feeling very well, I haven't been for a few months now. Well, a few months. Few days. Over-exaggeration there, but yeah, I'm not feeling great. I've got COVID at the moment, so things could be better. But I'm still going. I'm still alive. I'm not dead. It'll take me more than that disease to finish me off. But yeah, I'm still recording just because otherwise I'll be sat in my ass doing nothing other than just doing other mundane things. So I figured I may as well record and do something, otherwise I'll just be sitting here with all this extra time and not being able to do anything. So yes, one thing I will immediately state before we jump into this video is that I've decided to... This is way too loud, I can tell. So I've decided to bring back the upload schedule, which will be 7 days a week. Might be pushing it, but I'm not going to set myself my standards miles to power out these videos. Like, if I can't record for whatever reason, I just won't record. That's the end of that. So, there you go. But I will try my best to try and stick with the upload schedule. I'm not going to push myself, like, if I don't feel like recording, or something's happened where I can't record, or, you know, I won't be able to. So, yeah. So, in case you declared me dead, just think that I may be busy doing other things. But yes, there's a lot of new campaign stuff that, excuse me, that is coming very soon, so stay tuned for that. Well, today, probably a bit later today, I would have been up earlier, but I just was lazy. Well, no, I couldn't be bothered to record, so there you go. But it's going up around sometime today. So, it should be Sunday when you're watching this, or maybe midnight, who knows. But yeah, in theory, it should be Sunday. What was I going to say? Yeah, so there's a lot of new stuff comes to the channel. There's a lot of stuff that I preempt, and all that stuff will be explained in those videos throughout this week. Well, throughout, I guess, next week. But as I have some extra time off from work because I have COVID, obviously I don't want to spread it to my work colleagues, and just because I don't really feel like working, or just because I can't really physically work. So, yeah. I don't think they're allowing me to run to the loo every 5 minutes to blow my nose and all that shit. So, yeah, it's just not viable for me to work right now. But anyway, on to the hot seat itself. So this is going to be on this submod here, Westeros Total War. The New Beginning submod, which basically improves the game and adds a bunch of new stuff. Which stuff I don't really need to go into detail about, really. But essentially, this mod is perfect for hot seating, and that is exactly why we're using it. Some of you may want me to use newer mods like Fire and Blood, or just see Westeros Total 1.0. But these mods do the job completely fine, and they're fine. They're fine, and I think they're fine and good enough to do hot seating with. I don't need to. Did I do that right? I hope so. I'm doing the screenshots. I need to screenshot the map for the map update thing. But yeah, let's go through things. So, first of all, this will be an auto-resolve hot seat, so you will not be able to manually resolve against any players, because the Westeros Total War mods are balanced entirely for auto-resolve hot seats. They're not... Yes, you can play manually, and maybe I may reconsider my decision if there's a lot of people that... If there's a big chunk of people that want this to be a manual resolve hot seat, then I'd be open to be changing it. But with this hot seat for now, I'm going to go for auto resolve. Again, that may change if people get iffy. This mod in particular, I'm pretty sure you can get off Total War Center these days, so I may just link it in the description there. Or I may make my own little link, but I doubt I'm going to really change any files because it's just wasting my time. I don't have that kind of time, really, so there you go. But the link to... So obviously how to join this hot seat is if you go into the description of this video and click on the Discord link. And that will take you straight to where I host hot seats. I don't just host these hot seats. I host a lot of them as well. So straight away, join that Discord. And that is where... And if you go down, scroll down a bit to the Westeros, to the Game of Thrones hot seat channel. And we'll just click on lobby and choose and say, I want to play, what factions can I choose from? So I've made this massive information channel as well, so I do suggest you read that. Basically, it's just got basically just tells you it's got the rules, the information on what to install and whatnot, all the different RP rules, stuff like that. Not that many role playing rules really, just basic ones such as Joffrey can't betray Lannister and help, I don't know, help Tully or something stupid like that. So yeah, so any sort of like decisions, like say if Tyrell betrays Renly when realistically they're allied with them, then that decision will be overruled by myself, because it just doesn't make any sense. And maybe it makes sense for the player, but it doesn't make sense in this hot seat. So, as such, will be overruled. So right now, we are requiring there to be 5 players to play this hot seat. So essentially what's going to happen is that there's going to be 1 player for 2 factions. This is just so we can get just so we can fill the slots up as quick as possible. If in the event that we get at least like loads and loads of people join, that's way over the 5 person mark, then I may extend it to so that everyone can control 1 faction each. What's I going to say? So 1 faction each, maybe, and obviously that will also require there to be some players that it will require some people to be standing in as subs and replacements as well. Because in the hot seating, you go through a lot of players. You get a lot of players that join, and quite often than not, you end up replacing half of them. So any issues with installing the mod, you shouldn't really have that many issues. It's fairly straightforward. But if you do have any issues, just contact me via Discord. I'd rather you contact me via Discord with anything, really. Because on YouTube comment, yes, I probably replied to your comment, but I can't do a lot. I can't massively help you on YouTube comments, because on Discord I can send you images, I can actually sit on the call and show you how to install it. Whereas on YouTube I can't really do a whole lot. Apart from reply with a message and just say, well, this is what you need to do, and then I never really know if the guys actually sorted this problem out, because usually on Discord they reply to me, or the guy I just send a comment, you need to do this, and then that's all I hear from them. Usually I'm assuming that guy's figured it out. So obviously for those who are unfamiliar with the time period, this is set during the Clash of Kings, or the Game of Thrones, or I guess season 2 of Season 1, Episode 8 of Game of Thrones, I guess, if you want to talk about the TV show. But in the books, it's just around before the end of the first book, really. So yeah, so going through the faction parents you can control, you've got the Starks, so you can play as the Starks, and House Tully. Excuse me. So House Tully and Stark is the faction you can control. You do have a few armies of Stark down here. You can't see them right now because they're in the trees, but they are there. So Tully and Stark straight away. So naturally Stark has... Well, I don't think you can do it immediately, but obviously your goal is to declare yourselves independent. And then eventually fight the Lannisters and all that stuff. There's going to be no victory conditions for the... Technically there will be, but there won't be any victory condition until the end of the hot seat. Just because I think it's easier to do it that way, rather than just setting up victory conditions that more than likely will change towards the end anyway. So, I guess go wild, but obviously there will be rules so you can't make certain, like I said earlier, you can't make decisions such as like Stark betraying Tully, because it doesn't make any sense. Unless, say, Stark, say like Robb, Brandon have all died, and the Boltons are now in charge of House Stark, or the Tullys are all dead and the Freys are in charge of the Riverlands. Or say, I don't know, say Stannis has died and maybe I guess, I don't know. Or say Renly has died and the Tyrells declared either independence or for somebody else. You could do that. But yeah. So yeah, so 2 parents is Tully and Stark. They are the 2 other first parents. The next parent is House Aaron and House of Stannis, because mainly for balancing, really. Because Aaron wouldn't really support Stannis, really, right now. They're sort of supporting themselves, really. But for balancing, and just because otherwise, if Aaron was left to their own device and they could basically choose to go to war with anyone, then there's a good chance that Stannis will just die, because everyone would just sort of go with the bigger factions, and then Stannis will just... Whoever's playing Stannis, unless you're a really decent player, will probably just die. So that's why Aaron and Stannis are together. And actually, Aaron is working together to get Stannis back on the Iron Throne. Whereas Stark and Tully, you're sort of just fighting independent, so you can sort of declare for either Stannis or Renly if you want, or you can declare independence. It's up to you. And also you control Bright Waterkeep as well if you play Stannis as well for some reason, which is a bit useless really because Tyrell could easily take that down. Again, unless the person playing Stannis is really good. The next pairing is of course House of Joffrey and the Lannisters, so that's obviously a pairing. So naturally Joffrey is basically fighting to keep the throne against all the people trying to take it off him. Say for example if Joffrey dies, or if the Baratheon faction gets wiped out, or it's in the control of someone that's not a legitimate Baratheon, then House Lannister can sort of decide to, I guess, declare independence, or maybe swap sides to help either Renly or Stannis or or maybe someone else. I don't know. But yeah. So that's the other pairing. The next pairing is House Greyjoy and House Martell, which is a bit of a controversial one, really. House Martell and Greyjoy are vastly different people. But the one thing that unites them is the fact that they are strong supporters of independence. So, if Greyjoy... Well, if you want to declare independence, you can do that with both factions, because it will work. If for Greyjoy you wanted to fight Stark, or for Martell you wanted to fight Baratheon, you could, because it wouldn't matter. In Martell and Greyjoy, you can do different things. You don't really have to stay allied. Well, obviously, if you're playing both factions, you can't really fight one another, because that's a bit silly, really. So, really, you can do your own sort of thing with those factions and just do whatever. The last final pairing is Renly and Tyrell, because obviously Marjorie Tyrell is married to Renly Baratheon. So obviously that secures them into an alliance. I really love this mod with the whole the strat models are so cool. The Collington one, no, not Collington, sorry, Royce, sorry, Crane, the Morgans, you got Brienne de Tarth, Collington, so I'm not sure was a Kingsguard, or he might have been, I'm not sure. Or the Rainbow Guard as it is known. Karen, Emmon the Kais, and obviously Glenn Wild at the back there. And Renly in his own little strat model, which I like a lot. But yeah, this mod's really cool. It's perfect for hot seating, and I just think it'll be such a fun little... I love the little Kingsguard things as well. It's so cool. Yeah, I love this mod. It's so cool. It's really old compared to other mods, of course, but it's just such a... It's so cool. I love it. But yes, that is all for this video. I don't want to go on too long, even though this has been 12 minutes already. But anyway, that is really all that needs to be said. Yeah, so go to the Discord link in the description of the video. That will take you to where the hot seat's being hosted. If there's a lot of people that sign up, then I may change it so that people can control one faction rather than two. But we'll see what goes on. But yeah, that's all really. Things will, of course, change as time goes on. Like some things, for some rules might change. But yeah, if you have any suggestions, straight away, get in touch with me as soon as you can. Because this hot seat, I imagine, won't take that long till it starts. And any suggestions and things that I can't change after the hot seat has already started, I will not be going back on myself and change it. So you have a short window to suggest things. If you don't get that, if you don't get the stuff in that window, then I'm afraid that I won't carry on the suggestions at all. Because there will be no time. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Again, get in touch. Discord link in the description of the video. That's all for now. Hopefully I'm starting to get a bit better. Hopefully. COVID has really kicked the shit out of me in the last few days, but I'm still strong enough to carry on recording. So that is what I shall do. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and farewell.